In this video, I've compiled the most helpful yet brutal pieces of feedback that I've given my private students inside of my community that I'm giving you today for completely free of charge. And in this video, I'm essentially going to be pointing out the biggest mistakes that most beginner copywriters make, how to actually write great copy and use it before to actually land high-paying clients, and these simple keys to eventually scaling to over $10,000 per month with copywriting. And as you can tell, I don't like to hold anything back because I really do believe that brutal and honest advice is the best way to actually give people value and get people better. Because to much rather me tell you that your copy sucks rather than your eventual client telling you that your copy sucks. So with all that being said, please enjoy the video and let's hop right into it.
Prospect? Oh, this guy, Bulletproof John. I saw John W. and I was like, Johnny Walker. Okay, let's see. The no BS advisory for 6- and 7-figure online businessmen who want to get to 100K, 200K, 500K, or even $1 million just by changing how you think. The no BS advisory for 6- and 7-figure online businessmen who want to get to 100K, 200K, 500K, or even $1 million months just by changing how you think. Honestly, bro, that's dookie. That is straight dookie, bro. It's a no from me, dog. But let's see what you got. I'm taking no prisoners today. If your copy sucks, I'm going next. If I read the first 3 lines and you got grammars and you got errors or it's just bad, I'm skipping you. We have a whole lot of dudes up in here who want their copy reviewed. So I'm going to review the people who genuinely, visibly, clearly put the work in, put the effort in. It's not about skill level, but if I open your document and it looks like a steaming pile of dookie, I'm literally exiting it and I'm going to the next. What's that Ariana Grande song? Thank you, next. So with that being said, let's get into the roast session. Angle focused on one pain point. Okay, this is a pretty cool detailed doc. I may have written a different email not fully aligned with the angle because I struggled to coming up with one. What's your angle then? Why making more money makes it harder to switch off your brain. This will free you from the constant exhausting mental loops that keep you working 24/7, even with your family. Okay, here's the thing that I'm confused about. Is the product, and of course I could just watch the whole VSL, but I'm not going to do that. Is the product about, actually no, I know what it is because I watched the VSL, or I read the headline. So here's where you're wrong, my friend. This is for people who want to make more money, not for people who want mindset coaching. What was the headline? Do you want to make 100K, 200K, 500K, or even $1 million a month? Something like that, right? So this isn't about, hey man, this is how to actually relax when you're not working. That's not what, that doesn't align with the VSL. So here is the overview of how you want to even create your copy. Okay, right now I'm going to do a macro level. Zooming out, you want to look at their VSL and you want to look at every single belief shift that is in the VSL. Then you want to have those all down on a document, and all of your emails are essentially going to be about those. They're going to be all types of those belief shifts. For example, one belief shift that's in my business, that's in my company that you guys should know by now is that copywriting is a great way to start making money online. Probably the best way to get to 3K per month, to 5K per month. But to get to that 10K per month, you're going to have to add some more to your, what I call, copy toolkit. And this does 2 things. When you add things to your copy toolkit, 1, you get more employable. Your total addressable market grows. Now, instead of only going for businesses who need copywriters, now you're going for businesses who need copywriting, email marketing, funnel building. So you go from 1 million possible clients to 10 million possible clients just because you're diversifying your skill set. On top of that, because you are more skilled than you otherwise would be as just a copywriter, you're also making more money. That's one belief thing that I have in my business. So you're going to want to go through his VSL and find all of those ones in his, right? And always tie it back to how it makes him more money. Now, if somehow, some way in the email you do tie it back to making more money, which right here it doesn't say, then that's where you're going to want to switch some things around. Because I read the angle, I read the what's in it for me, but I didn't really see anything that's like, oh, you want to learn this because you want more money. It's more like you want to learn this so that you can relax, which is not what entrepreneurs want to do. So let's go. Let's look. Sacrifice peace for money. Okay. Stuck in business means more energy. No, that's booty cheeks. I don't know what the hell that even means. What? Nah. There's a 75% chance you're dealing with booty cheeks. No. Like what? No. Money doesn't bring freedom? Nah, bro. I don't care. Make peace with your business. Nah, bro. What? You're repelling freedom when making money. Nah, bro. You're literally writing an email to entrepreneurs saying, in every single one of these subject lines, what is it saying? What's the one sentence actual meaning of it? Making money bad. What does that even, why would you imagine somebody who's obsessed with making money and your product is about making more money and you are sending an email saying making money bad? Let's just read the email. Let's just read the email. Hey, first name. If you've been feeling like your brain is shutting down lately, and if being present at dinner with your family makes you feel a challenge, being present at dinner with your family feels like a challenge, then listen close. You can definitely fix this. Okay, so what we have here is 2 if statements in the lead. This is, in copywriting, there's not a never or always, but I wouldn't do this. I would not do this. If you've been this, full sentence, and if you've been this, full sentence, then listen close. So there's 2 reasons as to why I wouldn't do this. 1, it spits in the face of the rule of 3s. The rule of 3s is like, if you're making like a little list, you don't make it 2, you don't make it 4, you make it 3. 3 is just a satisfying number in the human brain, it's psychology. And it's your damn lead, bro. It's your lead. I know you've heard me say this before. You have to be choosy with your lead. Pick one thing. People go in their lead. Are you struggling with being overweight? You have excess body fat. You don't like who you see in the mirror, or you're trying all these diets and it's not really working, or you can't really figure out how to lose weight, or you struggle without having to eat all of your favorite foods. It's like the one thing, one problem, one if statement, one relatable sentence, one idea, one, not 2. 3 if it's later on in the email, but that's it for another day. Then listen close. If you try to make any more money, it's going to decrease your chances of achieving success. If I'm a money-obsessed entrepreneur, which is who you're looking for, this email is going to be like, bro, this is dumb. This is, you know what this sounds like? This sounds like one of those fairies online that's like, in order to be happy, all you need is your family. All you need is peace. You can be peaceful and broke. That's the life. And as a business and entrepreneur, I don't want to read that. And that's what it sounds like you're getting into. Whether that's getting financial freedom, spending more time with your family, and even hit the next level with your business. Let me translate what you just said. If you try to make any more money, it's going to decrease your chances of hitting the next level in your business. If you eat more food, it's going to decrease your chances of gaining weight. Why? Because at this stage, at what stage? Most business owners can't handle their own success. Now, when you say this stage, you're probably referring to this line up here, right? Look at how far away this is. In order for me to know what you're talking about right here, I would have to remember what you said like 10 lines ago. This is called assumed readership. You know why it's called that? Because people don't read. I know you think people go through their email and they say, if you've been feeling like your brain is shutting down lately, and if being present at dinner with your family feels like a challenge. No, they go like this. If you've been close, you're trying to make more money. Why? Because at this stage, at what stage? I'm confused. Click off. They skimming. They ain't reading, they skimming. So if you're going to say this, it, that, all those words that refer to something, just say the actual thing. You know what would be good here? To say a revenue number. So the dude's landing page, let's go back and give it a little peekaboo here. 6- and 7-figure online businessman. Wait, what? This literally says 7-figure online businessmen who want to get to 100K months. Bruv, this headline gets worse and worse every time I look at it. If you're at 100K per month, I'm going to show you how to get to 100K per month just by changing how you think. Most business owners can't handle their own success. Every decision that they make either comes with hesitation or guilt. And that's the worst state you could be in when building a business that brings you freedom. Most business owners can't handle their own success. Right here is a perfect time for a why, and then tweetable / line that needs explaining. For example, most business owners can't handle their own success. Every decision, because at this stage, at 7 figures, actually, I would just put 6 figures here, right? Because at 6 figures and above, most business owners can't handle their own success. Why? Because they're being pulled in 2 directions. They either work harder and make more money, or they enjoy what they have and risk everything that they've built so far. And this is why it's so difficult for so many people to move past 6 and 7 figures, start climbing towards those $1 million months. Let's say that. The answer? Well, it's not what most people think. It's not, this or that or that. The real answer is understanding that life has zero balance. But otherwise, life actually comes in seasons. Let me explain. See, in life, there's a season for work. There's a season for unhesitatingly grinding your face off. Because guess what? There's no way to build a huge business that stands the test of time otherwise. But you have to understand also in business, there are seasons of peace. There are seasons of leisure. There are seasons of vacation. And having those seasons live in harmony within your life is not only going to help you build a bigger business, but also a business that you love. And then I'll go to CTA. And that's the worst state you could be in when building a business that brings you freedom, bruv. This is no, the sentence is, this is so crazy that Google Docs is like glitching out over here. What? That's like long as fuck. Like, tell me you can't say that sentence in way shorter. And that's the worst state you could be in when building a business that brings you freedom. I've been there. Where? I know what you're saying, right? 2 lines ago, again, you're assuming readership. Like, literally pretend like the person who's reading has no memory. You have to mention every single thing that you are saying. And I know what it feels like to keep just don't even say there. Just say, I know what it keeps like to keep your worry radar up 24/7. Okay, we got a pseudo unique mechanism. Okay, I see you, Neo. Okay, all right. Let's keep this going. Let's keep the momentum. Having to make sure your team is doing things right. Yeah. Your competitors are crushing it, making you feel demotivated. Yeah. Okay. And ensuring your clients are constantly being dealt with. Okay. Right. We got a good unique mechanism, pseudo unique mechanism. We got 3 good relatables, right? You actually did use the rule of 3s. Okay. I like what I'm seeing now. Okay. Can he save it? Can he save it in the second half? You had us in the first half, but you don't have to be in that constant loop of solving problems. Okay. Instead of that, I would use A, but that's all right. That's okay. Let's go. After building multiple 7-figure businesses and consulting with thousands of others to 6 to 8-figure brands, I've come to one conclusion. Okay, we building up. Okay, it doesn't take you any tactics/systems to make more money after 6 figures, but emotional skills. You know what? I mess with this so far. Yeah, okay. Tell him, Neo. Let's see. Because you've already proven you can make money. And the more you scale, the more you realize that it's actually possible to hit the next stage every time. Okay. I will cut the word actually because it's a filler, but okay. It's only when you clear out your hesitations and take decisions in a way where they push your business forward instead of slowing it down that you're going to make it. No, but okay. This sentence is way too long. This is called an Oxford comma when you do the insertion like that, but because it's so long, it's like, this is too much. Now, I know this is easier said than done. Okay, he just did a problem solution loop. Let's go, Neo. Come on, let me see what you got. Which is why I want to show you the 6-pillar mindset protocol that's helped me and thousands of other 8+ figure brands establish those emotional skills. Okay. He's probably saying this in his VSL, but dog, like, nah. But if he says it in the VSL, then sure. Because here's the other thing, is that business owners, entrepreneurs value logic much more than emotion. When they hear emotion, they hear like your girl getting upset because you pulled your hand away to itch your ear when you guys were holding hands. That's what they think of when they hear emotion. They hear emotion, they hear irrational. So I wouldn't use the word emotion. I would use something else, a synonym. But you know what? Maybe he says it in the VSL because his marketing is clearly absolute booty cheeks, dookie balls, but that's neither here nor there. Not only its purpose is to help you make more money. You're missing a word here, bro. Come on, man. You were doing good. Come on, bro. These last 3 lines better speak to me, bro. But also remove all worries around problems in your business. If you feel like they could help you go further in your career, click here. Nah, same thing, dude. Don't do that. Assuming readership. So you were assuming readership like crazy. Okay. So you had me going there for a little bit. All right. Overall, in the second half was way better than the first half. CTA kind of fumbled a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, you fumbled that end. You were like 1 yard line away, and I was like, it could have been such a good build up from like the middle to the end, but it didn't happen. So yeah, the biggest thing that's killing you here is assuming readership, and you have some messy sentences, dog. Like some of these sentences are like, bro, where did you get this? Where did you get that? Unique mechanisms are honestly one of my favorite parts about copywriting. Unique mechanisms are honestly my favorite part about copywriting. There's 3 types of unique mechanisms. Pseudo-unique mechanism is one of them, and let me give them to you. In a business, you usually have 4 main unique mechanisms. These are the ones on the VSL, like the main system. So for example, I'm gonna show you the XYZ copy system, and it's comprised of 3 parts, 3 pillars. If you want to study exactly what I'm talking about, go look at Ravi Abuvala's VSL for what he calls the short form funnel. Yeah, so actually I'll just go over his. The main thing is called the short form funnel. And there's 3 parts to it. There is maybe like brand ecosystem, then there is something else, and then there's something else, right? Now, a pseudo unique mechanism is something that is not those. It's like one unique mechanism that you use in an email. So keep your worry radar up 24/7. I would consider that a pseudo unique mechanism. Or if you add things to your Copywriter toolkit, it's going to make you more money. Copywriter toolkit is a pseudo unique mechanism because it's not one of the main ones that I ever talk about. It's like one that I might put in a YouTube video or I might put in in an email. Another one that I have on the top of my mind is called the hesitation tax. What is hesitation tax? It's your loss of potential that you've given up because you hesitated. Imagine how much farther along you would be if you never hesitated. The difference between that and where you are right now is called your hesitation tax. Some people's hesitation tax is a lifetime of potential. So start soon. Hesitation tax would be a pseudo unique mechanism. I wouldn't say complicated. I'd say it's a little bit advanced, which is why most of you guys don't have access to it. I have a lesson inside of the boot camp called the 3 different types of unique mechanism, or it's like a unique mechanism masterclass. Some of you guys might have access to it depending on what level you are, what you've unlocked so far, but you unlock it when you need it, right? If you're just like working on freaking your structure, your email structure, worry about your email structure. Don't worry about unique mechanisms, really. Thanks for the reviews. Of course, brother. Wanted to send in an email without making it perfect? Nah, don't do that, bro. Like, you could send them in without being perfect, but I'll tell this to everybody. And I'm not just saying this to you, Neo, so don't feel picked on. Guys, is there even a name for this? It's kind of like an excuse. Just don't give excuses. When you beat somebody in chess, what's the first thing they say? Bro, I'm rusty as hell, man. If I was really good, I would have beat you, bro. But like, I just haven't played in a couple months. Like if I was like brushing up every once in a while, dude, shut up. You lost. When people send in copy, they're always like, oh, well, I didn't really try that one. I made it before I hopped on the call. It's cope, bro. It's cope. This is your copy. This is your copy. It's okay. Own it. Once the copy is on the page, it's no longer yours. Don't take it personally. It's all right. It's okay. Just take it on the chin. It's okay. There was some really good parts of the copy, man. Don't even sweat it. And also it says week 1, day 2. Are you really in week 1? There's no way. Anyways, if you're in week 1, then, bro, that's crazy. Most people who are in week 1 can't even form together a sentence. So, okay, sweet. Let's see. Who's this guy? I hate posts like this. Like, why? I don't care about all your tweets, bro. This is not Twitter. This is literally not X. Does he have reels? Oh, this is a goofy ass, like, black and white style shit. Okay. See, guys, it's not just you. Okay, he actually does have a reel. I don't know how it has 1.7 million. It's the only one where he's showing his face. I don't know. Whatever. It's not even worth it. Let's just see his sales page. X growth system. X growth? Oh, like X. Twitter. Okay, maybe that's why he's so on X. He has a VSL here? Okay, cool. How I grew from 0 to 34K X followers. 34K? Bruv, that's like, those are rookie numbers, bro. Followers and build. Bro, how I grew from 0 to 34K X followers and build. You mean built? The past tense of build is built? Okay. A 6-figure business in 16 months. 16 months to get to 34K. My friend. 16 months to get to 6 figures, my friend. Working just 2 hours per day. If it took you so long, why were you only working 2 hours a day? Use my proven system to gain 20K followers and 3M monthly impressions, all while working only 2 hours a day. What the hell is this? Why am I looking at Tony Robbins right now? I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. Like, what is this? What is this crap in my tweet? This is garbage. This is garbage. Like this white text, is this about what's above or what's below? I don't know. Anyways, somebody help this man. Save $300. How much is it? 197. Okay. And this is called this This isn't an upsell. This is a cross sell. For just $97 one time, get the best writing strategies I've learned after spending $18K in 3 years. After spending $18K in 3 years? 3 years on what? After spending 3 years. Spending 3 years. The dangerous habit that's ruining your life. Are you guilty of this too? Booty, bro. That's not very good. The dangerous habit that's ruining your life. It's kind of like if I sent out emails to my list and I said, here's how to make more money. Snooze fest, bro. Snooze fest. Let's keep reading though. I crave approval from people who don't even approve of themselves. How absurd would it be to hear someone say that? First name. Well, lagged there for a bit. I bet no one has ever said that out loud, but that's the way many people feel inside, often without knowing it. That's how they live. Nah. Today I want to show you a way to break free from that trap. Nah, dude, same thing, dude. Why are you doing that? What trap? That's assuming readership again. So you can stop shrinking yourself, stop seeking to please them, stop letting opinions. Bro, what are you doing? What is this? No, dude. What is this? This supposed to be a value email? This is actual booty. Here's the thing. This is what I would consider a pep talk email. That is the category I would put it in, pep talk email. Pep talk emails are like, hey bro, I know things are looking down right now, but keep grinding, keep pushing, and you will get there. They're sort of like a type of value email, but they're not really a value email. And I advise, here's the thing, and this is one of the first things that I say in the 90-Day Academy is this: practice intentionally. Don't just write willy-nilly emails. So when you're writing an email like this, it's like, why even write it? For free value, for practice? Like this says practice. That's what the doc is named. So why are you writing that for practice? Write something about the actual product, dude. Like I said, take all the belief shifts that are in the VSL and expand on them. Make an actual email out of that. I don't know why you just kind of like take one of his reels, which is exactly what this sounds like. This sounds like the transcript of a reel, which I see all the time, is people just go to a creator and they're like, look their transcript, copy, paste it into type into document, and they're like, copy, voila. That is not how it works. Stop letting their opinions matter more than your own and be free to do what you want with your life. Because first name, the reality is that as long as you're seeking approval, you'll never really be free. Seneca said it best. All right, bro, you're straight up giving me a stoicism line. And don't worry, I love stoicism. I actually know Seneca, Musonius Rufus, Marcus Aurelius, and Zeno. Zeno was the creator. Don't worry, I know all that. But in an email, with an X product, like this has nothing to do with X. This has nothing to do with growing online. This has nothing to do with the actual product. It's so far removed from the product, which is why I'm wondering why you wrote it. He was right centuries ago and still is today. Think about it. How often do you, do this instead. Stop waiting for permission to live your own life. Stop caring what they think. If freedom matters to you, the freedom to work from anywhere you want, this post will show you how to get there. I quit Twitter. Then I was no. Yeah, that's the thing. People click on what they want more of. So if they're reading this mindset stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, I really like this mindset stuff. They're not going to switch gears and go like, oh yeah, let me go read about some Twitter make money online stuff. They're completely different. If this was like, here's how to blow up on X, and if you want to learn more, I made an X post about this, then that CTA would cook. If this was, here's a little pep talk, and then if you want to look at my, if I have a free resource or tool about mindset, then they would click on that. But to go, oh yeah, bro, like you got to stop talking about what other people think, and like, Seneca said it best, back in like, 20 CE, he was the man, bro. Super good. By the way, I actually posted on Twitter how to make money. You want to go look at that? But keep working, bro. Keep working. This is only your practice email number 2. So keep grinding, keep hustling. And of course, come next week with some sauce. Target avatar, okay. Day 1, create 3 emails in a document, baseline emails, okay. Why do most people never achieve their dream body? This is aight. I mean, this is day 1, so, I'll be nice. But it's very basic. Hey, first name, do you know why most people never achieve their dream body, even if they train 5 times a week, eat healthy meals, and do cardio? Yeah, see, this is a list. Here's a new rule of thumb for you guys. And a rule of thumb means that it's not a hard rule that you use all the time, but it's a rule that you're going to want to take into account more often than not. Don't put lists in the beginning of your emails, in the leads. I don't know, you're killing consumability here. Imagine if you're scrolling through your phone, you're doom scrolling, dog, and you come across a reel and you say, copywriters, are you struggling trying to get clients? Is it hard for you to write copy? Is it confusing understanding email marketing? Is it hard to start? Are you thinking about buying a course? Are you watching people on YouTube? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? Do you feel like this? Do you feel like that? Bro, just get on with it. Just get on with it, bro. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you need. At the same time, yeah, just no list, bro. No list. How is this possible? This question crossed your mind, right? Fluff. Like what does that add to the email? But how is this possible? This question crossed your mind, right? Economy of words. Say the most that you can with the least amount of words. Who? I know what you mean because I'm reviewing your email. You mean the people who go to the gym 5 times a week, eat healthy, moves, and do cardio. So say this. So here's what I would say instead. Do you know why most people never achieve their dream body, even though they do all the right things? I said exactly what you just said. I said exactly what you just said in so many less words. Do you know why most people can't achieve their dream body despite doing all the right things? It seems like honestly, you're not even saying anything. But how is this possible? This question crossed your mind, right? They are doing so much, and they give, and they don't get what they want. It seems unfair. That's because they don't have a coach who leads them towards their goals, which is their dream body. This is an email that's like, hey man, you want to know why it's so hard for these people to actually succeed, bro? It's because they don't have a coach. I'm a coach. You want me to be your coach? Click here so I can be your coach. Bro, if sales were that easy, I wish. So what you're doing here is you are putting together a promo email and a value email, right? And they don't go together. It's one of the same. You don't. The expression is you don't eat where you defecate. I'll put it like that. So let's break it down. If I'm giving a value email, the value inside the email is kind of like I was mentioning before, a mindset shift. It's a belief shift towards something that they need to believe in order to believe in the product. For example, let's just say nobody's going to purchase from some dropshipping guru if they don't believe that dropshipping is the way. And let's say they need to do branded dropshipping. So it's not just dropshipping like everyone else talking about, but it's about building an actual brand, an e-commerce brand, instead of just dropshipping crappy products. That you'd write an email about that. Don't write an email about the program. Imagine I came on, or like some dropshipping dude came on. He was like, hey dude, dropshipping is the way. I made $20 million this month. And if you want to do the same thing, you want to know what the number one thing that's going to help you is getting a dropshipping coach. A dropshipping coach is going to help you so much. I'm a dropshipping coach, by the way. Link in my bio, by the way. It's like, no. So if you're going to do a value email, here's what you would sell in that last scenario, the hypothetical I was giving you. The email would be, here's why dropshipping is dead and branded dropshipping has taken over. You want to know why people buy Apple? It's not because they're the best. It's because it's Apple. They already have a MacBook. They already have an iPhone. If they're looking for a smartwatch, what do you think they're going to get? A Fitbit? You think they're going to get a Fitbit? No, they're going to get an Apple Watch. Why is that? Because of one thing, brand. If you want to use and harness the power of brands in your dropshipping, well, I've actually created this 12-step system that I'm going to teach to you for free in order to do that. If you want it, click here at the bottom. Then they're like, this is good. I'm going to click here at the bottom. They click there at the bottom, and then where do they go? They go to a page. This is called a landing page. And on the landing page, there's a video on there. The video is a video sales letter. And in the video sales letter, he's like, here's my 12-step process. And then he does step number 1. Oh, okay, that sounds really good. You write in there. You feel in the value. You're like, okay, this is awesome. And then at the end of it, he says, look, you can do all this on your own if you want. But this is like an entire system that I've mastered. If you want me to help you and hold you by the hand while you implement this system, and I tell you exactly how, then click below and schedule a call with me. Then they schedule a call with them, and then there's like some $10,000 dropshipping product or something. That's how you do marketing. It's not the reason why you're not. Otherwise, you're saying the reason you're not where you want to be is because you don't have me, and people are not going to buy that. Maybe at one point, but in 2025, negative. Hopefully that helped. Next. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. My intrusive thoughts are going crazy right now, so I'm just gonna wait. The attachment specialist? I help you achieve secure attachment and improve your relationships. Oh, bro. Okay, I'm going to heaven, bro. I'm committed to going to heaven. I'm not letting my intrusive thoughts win. not this time. Relationship email. What are you trying to say? What is an avoidant person and why do they keep ruining the relationship? I actually know this attachment style thing. I have a book called Attachments. It's quite interesting. And my theory of it is not that, honestly, it has nothing to do with attachment theory, attachments. To me, it has a lot more to do with the dynamic between male and female, because every single person, every single one I checked, every single example they give in the book, the man is the avoidant and the female is the anxious. And the the middle one is interchangeable. What is it called? Secure? Yeah, that one's interchangeable. If men are able to be the anxious attachment type, why wouldn't they have that in the book? I think it's just talking about men and women dynamics without saying men and women, because masculine and feminine, because it's 2025. But that's neither here nor there. Subject line 1, your marriage isn't dead. It's crying for help. Okay. Your husband is not evil. He's just scared. Okay. I might use a different word than evil, because it's like, your husband isn't mean or something, or I don't know. Maybe diff word. This epidemic that won't kill you, but will kill your relationship. I would say pandemic. Yeah, pandemic. It's a little 2020 action right there for you. All right, our first relationship email of the day. Let's check it out. First name. If talking about love with your partner feels like explaining Wi-Fi to your grandma, you're not alone. Okay. I usually wouldn't be cool with putting an analogy in the very first one, but it works. Although, why is it like this? Why don't it just be this should be together. I don't know why it's apart like that, separated by that line. Love is the most wonderful thing on the planet, but some men run from it like it's the most terrifying thing. I would say, fix this word. Huh? Like, what does that even mean? Like, it's the most terrifying thing. Yeah? Most terrifying thing. Most men run from it. Run from it like it's the plague. Run from it like, what? You use the word like, so it's an analogy, but it's not a very good analogy, because you're just saying, like, it's the most terrible thing, terrifying thing. They sabotage relationships almost like they have to kill the connection before it can destroy them. Yeah, this one hits a little bit close to home. I don't know. It's good though. Research shows that 1 out of 4 people have this problem. And that's why I believe this is an epidemic ruining stable relationships. Do you know why this happens? 2 words for you: avoidant attachment. It happens when a person had an emotionally unstable childhood. They build a strong barrier against others, not because they hate people, because they believe no one will trust them and anyone can betray them. And do you know the worst part? Avoidant men actually want love more than anything, yet they see it as forbidden fruit. But don't worry, it's not over yet. There are more ways to deal with an avoidant husband. You can guide him on how to resolve the conflicts together. So right here, I'll give more relatables. So the ingredient that this email is missing the most of is relatables. So you had 1 in the opening. If talking about love with your partner feels like explaining Wi-Fi to your grandma, you're not alone. Love is the most, but some men run from it. They sabotage, yeah, okay. Why do they do this? This is why. Okay, so in the beginning, I would, like I said, insert some sort. So if you're dealing with a husband that does this thing, and does this thing, then there's a strong chance that he is an avoidant attachment style. Then the rest of what you said makes a lot more sense, and lands a lot harder, because people feel like you're actually talking to them rather than just talking about a thing. You can guide him on how to resolve conflicts together. And also right here, there are ways to deal with your avoidant husband. I would add some relatables of what they've tried. So you've probably tried asking them why they shut down when you fight, asking him why he doesn't open up to you and doesn't get vulnerable around you, asking him why, or just that thing, or does your husband do this other thing as well, right? So 3 things that avoidant husbands do, or 3 things that you might have tried to fix an issue with your avoidant husband. Take real steps to fix the problem. They are often shocked when somebody cares enough to stop and say, this wasn't right and I'm sorry. First name, if you suspect your partner has this problem, but you're not sure. Yeah, that's the thing. Problem? From what I understood with the Attachment Styles book is that it's not necessarily a problem. It's kind of just like who you are. So, and also like right here is the best time to do relatables. So here's the thing, right? Relatables. Sometimes you have to fortune cookie it. And I'm going to explain what I mean. People believe in horoscopes a lot, like so much. I actually didn't really know it was a true real thing. So I met this girl in Miami. Yeah, in Miami. And she was like bought in. She was like, oh my gosh, she is such a Sagittarius. I'm like, what? It's like, oh my God, I'm being such a Gemini. Huh? Well, he said, what now? People read their horoscopes and it literally, I'm not even joking, says some shit like, you will be tested. And they're like, oh my God, like, I'm going to be tested. Wow, these horoscopes, man, they really know me. What? They say something like, oh yeah, cancers are really, they're really nice, but only when you're nice to them. It's like, dude, that's everybody in the freaking world. So here's my point. If you were to say something like, if your husband plays excessive video games, shuts down when you fight with him, and has trouble opening up and being completely vulnerable, showing his emotions, then there's a strong chance that he's of the attachment style that I'm talking about, and you should watch this video because you'll get more clicks. And it's also true. So you are saying something that's true, and you're also getting more clicks. If you were to say, like, you know, if your husband has a male genitalia, then, I mean, that doesn't really work because that doesn't really express somebody who has a anxious attachment style. But if you were to say like very wide things to diagnose somebody like that, they're gonna be like, oh my God, that's my husband. Then they're gonna click on the video. Then they're gonna go down your funnel. That's what you want to do. Let's see, Mark builds brands. What the fuck is this profile picture, dude? Jesus. Bro was in his room late at night and was like, oh shit, I need a profile picture. All right, one sec. Oh shit, he was Alex fed off. Show testimonials of successful brands. Apply the BBA. How to scale your e-com store. I cracked the Mr. Zuckerberg code. Paid media strategy will help the USP of BBA, Brand Builders Academy. Okay. I cracked the Zuckerberg code. Here's the password. Okay, that works. First name. I cracked the Mr. Zuckerberg code. You can stop paying his rent now. Penthouse level rent, LOL. So here's the password for the multi six-figure e-com brand. These numbers. I'm just playing LOL. But the key to actually succeeding in branded dropshipping is paid advertisement. You see first name? Every freaking profitable brand on the planet runs ads on autopilot. You right now. But paid ads are not money in equals money out times 10. You need a working strategy, bro. But paid ads are not money in equals money. Okay. One method I use is retargeting ads so my audience feels the need to buy my products. How do I make the sale? Right here. This is a perfect example of, watch this, intrigue homicide. Hold up, just relax, guys. Let me cook real quick. Instead, you want to do the justification first approach. So what's the key to making ads work? Well, here's the problem, is that most of the time, when people get your ads, they have no idea who the hell you are. Now you have to take them from stranger to buyer. And this is extremely hard. But I figured out a way that you can take people from watcher to buyer, which is literally so much easier. And then you don't have to worry about, well, how do I turn strangers to buyers with my ads? You only have to worry about, how do I turn strangers into watchers, and then my ads will do the rest for me. The answer? Retargeting ads. Yeah. I feel like that's more compelling than. One method I use is retargeting ads, so my audience feels the need to buy my products. I don't know. Do you guys feel the difference? Maybe I'm tripping. How do I make the sale? By associating my products with an emotion that drives the feeling of need in the customer. By associating my products with an emotion that drives the feeling of need for a customer. This is another example of put in short, people buy with emotions and justify with logic. So I sell the feeling. Yeah. So same thing that I said in the other email where it's like, how do I make the sale? By associating my products with an emotion that drives the feeling of need in the customer. I'm like, bruv. So instead, in short, people buy with emojis and justify with logic. So I sell the feeling. And then you can go into your example. Makes way more sense for people who are skimming. Take Ferrari, for example. We all know the gunshot sounds the car makes when it's redlined. LOL. This image immediately pops up in your head. Brand association is exactly how I became a millionaire in my 20s, using the meta flywheel strategy. I feel like this analogy could be said better. People associate Ferrari with refinement and wealth. If you see a guy driving Ferrari, what's the first thing you think? A, this guy must be homeless, or B, this guy must be wealthy and really cool. Or there's a guy who hopped out of Ferrari and a guy who's like homeless on the side of the road, which one do you want to go up and talk to? The guy with the Ferrari. But what you don't know is that the guy with the Ferrari is actually homeless, and the guy who's homeless is actually just taking a vacation and wearing his sweatpants or something. And the reason why is because you associated the Ferrari with wealth, even though you don't actually know what's in the guy's bank account. You just assume because of the branding. That's just a suggestion / example. If I were to use that, I would make it much shorter and better, but you get the point, right? So what you're saying here does make sense, but it's not as obvious. You kind of have to work a little bit to understand it. So using the meta flywheel strategy, I help up-and-coming e-commerce stores scale to stupid numbers through our strategy. No. So using the brand association is exactly how I became the millionaire in my 20s. I would say, here's how to use the MFS, whatever you said there, strategy to scale to stupid numbers with ecom. I do see this happen sometimes. People just like say the unique mechanism and put a link to it. I've personally never been a fan. So again, suggestion, not a critique, but I wouldn't go with that. Also, this is already salesy before the CTA. That's like me saying the best way to outreach is by doing the Ferrari outreach method that I created that you can click here to buy. It works it's like nobody's going to click that and be like, oh yeah, I'm sold. So you kind of want to sell it before you even drop the CTA. It's the same as the justification first approach. I help up and coming, finding a product that prints money for years, setting up a storefront that hypnotizes customers, ad campaigns that build movement. Now, me and my students have cracked. Yeah, this is the problem. This is a promo and nurture email. In my humble opinion, you shouldn't dookie where you eat. Translation: don't shit where you eat. You guys ever hear that expression? I realize that some people from not Western society, so people who are, I guess, European and other countries, Asian, don't really hear a lot of the sayings and idioms that I use or people in Canada and the US use. But yeah, don't shit where you eat. So what I mean by that is if you're going to do a promo email, do a promo email. If you're going to do a value email, do a value email and sell the click. And then on the page itself will sell the product. If it's a promo email, you are mentioning the product, mentioning why it's so awesome and why it's important to get right now, and then you're sending the link. With a nurture email, you are shifting beliefs. That's the number one thing you have to do, shift beliefs. Now, once people's beliefs are shifted, they'll be somewhat interested. And then you leave the CTA, and then they go to the CTA on that page, and they look at it. Not really in the email. This is kind of like both. Now me and my students have cracked the Zuckerberg code and no longer paying for his PJs. It sounds like you're saying pajamas right here. I know you're saying private jets, but I know how no longer have to pay for Zuckerberg's pajamas. We've noticed consistent sales and a crap ton of ROAS. So if you want virtual handheld guidance using my meta flywheel strategy, apply here. Here's what I would do. Give them the strategy for free. Explain how it works in this email, and then offer your help at the end. So here's exactly what this means. Nobody buys from you if they don't know that your system works first. They want to know your system works first. In order for them to know that your system works, they need to have belief shifts. Example, I was literally listening to Tanner Chidester say this the other day. There are lots of offers out there that say, I'll help you make more money. I'll help your business make more money. I'll just help you overall. Those offers never convert well. They never do well. The people who do the best in the industry always have a system, and they tell you their system. They don't say, I have this system where I find products that print money for years, set up a storefront, and ad campaigns that build a movement. It's like how? I help you find winning products that print money for years by using the outlier strategy. How does this work? Well, I go to look at products that were very popular 10 years ago that aren't very popular now. I figure out how to put a new spin on it because it's already been proven to sell, yet it's not trendy right now. But the thing with trends is that they come in and then they go out. It's the same with Crocs. See, Crocs, They went out of style for a while, and now they came back into style. The same with these products. So using this exact strategy, I'm able to make people a lot more money. Now, there are 2 other parts to the flywheel strategy. If you want to learn exactly how they work, click this link. Then they click the link. Then they go to the VSL. Once they're on the VSL, they find out how the whole system works together. They're like, wow, I really like this system, and I want to see how it works. I want to implement it into my own business. And then in the VSL, it says, if you want to implement it into your own business, all you have to do is go down below and book a call. And in this way, you've shifted their beliefs before you try to sell them. Because that right there is how you make sales. That's marketing. Instead of, I can help you scale your e-com store to stupid numbers, so work with me. It was like literally it's the CTA before I even hear what the system is. And it doesn't usually work. Like my offers aren't, I'll help you become a copywriter. It's like in the boot camp, for example, there's the unique sales proposition, which is here's what you get. You get daily coaching calls. You get a bunch of content. That's not what you get. But how it works is I'll show you a very in-depth system on learning copywriting in 90 days. And then with the with the 40 CI, there are different unique mechanisms inside of there as well on how it works, strategies that you learn, and how they actually get applied. For example, we teach you high conversion client getting, right? So instead of just like giving you guys a template and telling you send this template to any business you come across, like most people do and most people think, instead we teach you guys how to send out high quality outreach where you're much more likely to get clients, and also how to apply on things like Upwork and job boards because they give you a better bang for your buck when it comes to getting clients rather than just outreaching mindlessly. That's an example. And now that you guys are, you get the idea and it makes sense to you and you want to be a part of that, only then would you really consider being a part of the 40 CI or move or whatever, the system, considering that the system works. There's only so much tailored mentoring we can provide, so doors will close after the first 100 applicants. I'll be quick. Mark. Okay, I feel like I kind of reviewed that one to death, so I think it's good. Email value plus soft CTA. Interesting. This makes or breaks your funds approval. Okay. Is your grant application backwards? Okay. Want your funds approved? This is how. All right. The number 1 framework for securing grants. This is how you take home big money. A lot of these are similar and pretty basic. I would say add in a little intrigue if you can, sort of like a so sort of like a unique mechanism. So is your grant application backwards? So basically what you can do is summarize a subject line. So this subject line basically says, here's how to get your funds approved. You're doing your funds backwards. This is how you get your funds approved. This is how you secure a grant. So these 3 are basically the same. This is how you take home big money. This is a little bit the same, but even more vague. So I'll bring it back to copywriting. So how to get clients without outreaching, right? How to get clients is like a level 1, like, here's the best framework to get clients. But how to get clients without outreaching feels just like a little bit more intriguing because now it just has that one word that makes you want to click just a little bit more. So I would say, I'm not going to even say which one is better, but I'd say try adding some that are more outside the box / curiosity based. Oops. When you make alternatives, you want to make them like very different. So like one talks about a problem, which you did here, is your grant application backwards. And then other one talks about a solution. And then another one is like, talks about something that's like extremely curious. And the other one more familiar. And then when you make them more different, you have a better idea of which ones are going to work better if you do a split test. Split testing, I'd say like split test every email if you have the chance, for sure. Because it will give you, it will always give you the best results. I need to come clean about something first, name. If you've tried applying for grants thinking they will be read, you're throwing away thousands in potential funding. I think this could be, maybe, this is a suggestion. Obviously, I'm like a very cold audience because I don't know who this person is, what funding exactly they're talking about, growth bundle sales page. But if you're applying for your grants thinking they'll be read, it's like, what do you mean by that? Thinking that they'll read them, that they'll actually process your application. I think there could be a little bit more context there. You're throwing away thousands in potential funding. Keep reading and I'll show you my framework to get approved in no time. Yeah, I would try to add something here. Try to add or give a hint as to why it's different. So the thing is that on an email list, these people will probably already be trying to do XYZ framework, getting approved for funding. So you could even just say, here's my winning framework, or here's my counterintuitive winning framework, or my counterintuitive framework, or my framework that goes against what most people say. Why? Most people tell you to do X, but I actually tell you to do XYZ, and this is why it's way better. And the reason why is because one of the biggest reasons people don't read is because they think that they already know what the email is going to be about. I've said that on the last boot camp call. But the same goes here. Time to get approved in no time. Because the truth is, assessors don't read applications linearly from start to finish. I think this is not only redundant, but also above third grade. So you could just say they don't read applications start to finish. Then they'd get that. They scan for disqualifiers first, looking for reasons to say no. You could definitely come up with a good, you could give a great UM, like a problem UM here, and what's the word? Problem unique mechanism, and use it for intrigue throughout. And you kind of did it. You kind of did it with, are you submitting your application backwards? But scan for disqualifiers first. And most applicants go straight into talking about their business background / history. I'm going to take this and put it into Claude AI and see what it gives us. Maybe it'll give us something nice. Maybe it'll give us dookie balls. But there's only one way to find out for science. Create a unique mechanism that describes this. Make it catchy. I know you guys can't see the window, but I'm going to put it over here now. Let's see if we can come up with something. The reverse funnel application mechanism. Oh, no, give me 10. Give me 10 variations. Here's how to do a reverse application. Here's my reverse application strategy, my backwards application strategy. I call this the elimination game, and it's a huge reason why people don't get their applications processed. Oh, I call this the rejection reflex, to where they're literally just looking for the first thing to disqualify you. Not knowing this is what's going to lose you thousands of dollars in AYZ, the rest. The veto first. This kind of makes sense, but most people don't know what veto means. The red flag radar. That's actually pretty good. They all they do is scan for red flags. So with this knowledge in mind, you're going to be able to structure your application so that it has the highest chances of approval. Most people just try to, just come up with whatever the problem is. The negative filter funnel, disqualification first doctrine. Jesus, that's long. The reverse assessment ladder, the vetting guillotine. Jesus, that's kind of fucking brutal. The deal breaker detector. That's decent as well. Okay, so yeah, you could definitely use one of those. Those are pretty good. Hint, the assessor doesn't care. This inverted structure forces assessors to hunt for critical information, creating friction, which leads to rejection. So how do you grab your... This would be a perfect time for, in short, and then put like one tweetable line here. They're trying to skim your application. Make them pay attention, and your chances for approval, I don't want to say skyrocket because that's the fucking ChatGPT-ism, but I'm going to say it anyways. Skyrocket. So a suggestion like that would be really good. So whenever I make something that's a little bit more explainy, right? This inverted structure forces assessors to hunt for critical information, creating friction, which leads to rejection. It's a little bit advanced or reading level sort of thing. So I would be like, in short, I even do this sometimes. In short, more this equals less that. In short, making it harder for them to skim increases your chances of getting approved. That way, it's just like when people are skimming themselves, like skimming this email, they get it. So how do you grab your grant assessor by the eyeballs and force them to pay attention to you? This is where my grant framework comes in. Okay. If you're going to go listicle here, if listicle is your game here, I'd be careful to not make the intro too long. Right now, it's just a tad long, but not terrible. Listicles, I'd want ideally the intro to be maybe 3/4 to a half of the length that I'm seeing right here. Now, there is no never or always in copywriting, but again, that's me ideally. Let's see. Not a PS. I guess whatever. PS, it'll do. Your other ones don't have PSs, so I'll let it slip this time. 320 words is all right. Ideally, you want 200 to 300. So it's erring on the longer side. Grant. So G, grab attention with qualification. Start by immediately confirming you meet all eligibility requirements. This prevents the assessor's brain from hunting for disqualifiers. Sweet. R, reveal the outcome. Okay, so your listicle is nice and short, which is good. That's really good. Reveal the outcome before the process. Front load the specific details your project will achieve before explaining how you'll get there. Showing outcomes first creates a destination that makes the journey details more meaningful. Authenticate your capabilities with proof. Don't claim competence. Demonstrate it with specific past achievements. Sweet. R, narrow the focus to a specific problem being solved. Present clear problem solution pairs rather than general narrative. T is tie benefits to stakeholders. Extend impact beyond your business and community, industry, and economic benefits. There you have it. Hope you found this useful. If you want to apply the grant formula to your business without the headache of figuring things out and risking failure, we've laid it out step by step. We've got grants approved fast inside the Grants Academy. Okay. Grow with the grants. Here's what I would do if I were you and you were me. You can probably guess what I'm going to say. I don't know why, but George is almost like a chameleon. It's almost like everything I say, he can recite months later. He quotes me from things I don't even remember I said. And apparently he does a really good Tyson 4D impression, which I have to see sometime because apparently it's really good. But in short, I would problem solution loop this instead of PS. Now, in theory, the reason why you do a PS is to make it soft, right? Oh, well, I don't want to feel like I'm selling them. And that's true. That works. But it doesn't really hurt goodwill, from what I understand. At least it wouldn't in my eyes, if you just did a little problem solution loop. So here's how I might end it off. And next, you tie in benefits to the stakeholders. If you do these 5 things, you will greatly improve your chances of being approved. But what's the next problem after that? But how do you do this? Or do you want access to our complete template? Or let me see. I'm not sure how you would problem solution loop this because I'm not a master at this. Damn, this page, man. Why do people need to center text everything? I'll never understand. Okay, it's only 39 AUD. Jesus, Australia. Okay, so that's like what, $20 a month or something? I don't know. I don't know, but it's cheap. So that's also not going to hurt you. Or if it was like a 997 Academy, then yeah, you'd probably want to be a little bit more sensitive about how you do it. But people aren't mad when they get asked to pay $30 or something. So, guide to find, submit, and win government grants and funding to grow your business in 2025. Okay, so what do you get? Expert tools and templates. So you have a few options here. So if you want to go soft, this is okay, or you can problem solution it. If you wanted to go harder on the CTA, you could do a pretty good double CTA here. So what would that look like? And if you want my templates, tools, and resources so that getting your grant approved is as easy as possible, click here to check out the Grant Academy. Inside, you'll get bullets, and then maybe something about urgency. Like the sooner you get help with this, the sooner you can get approved, and the sooner your business can start making money with government grants. So whatever, click here to join, or click here to check out whatever it is. That could work really well here as well. Obviously, it's a little bit more salesy, promoty, but yeah, overall, I think it's good. Like I said, I might shorten the intro. The value points are pretty good. The acronym is pretty cool. The CTA, I feel as though it could be more strategic rather than just PS course. That's kind of like the easy way out, but there's nothing wrong with it. If you want to apply the grant formula to your business without the headache of figuring out, that's actually a pretty good problem solution loop right there. I don't know why you wouldn't just put that in the email, then PS. That's a good one. Okay, sweet. So you can just use that actually up here. Then it flows better. We've laid out a step-by-step way to get grants approved fast inside the Grants Academy. Okay. Click here to access it. Okay. And find out your approval rates, 3x the industry average. Oh shit, that's sick. 3x the industry average. Yeah, okay. Good. Overall good. I think you can just make some tweaks, make it even better. Should we review this? This is tough. So in case nobody is aware, I'm sure maybe some of you guys have heard. Some of you guys are a little bit newer, so you maybe never heard this before. But on a sales page, and this is somewhat opinionated, but realistically, why would you center align your paragraphs? Because it's like this. There's a reason why books, you read them from left to right, and all of the stuff on the left is aligned on the left. It's because that's the easiest way to read. When you read like this, you're starting the sentence here. Then you're starting the sentence all the way out here. Then you're starting the sentence all the way in the middle again, in the middle-ish, and then you're starting the sentence all the way out here. So your eye constantly has to strain and look. It just makes it less consumable and harder to read. Not to mention, another thing with this page is that the text is way too wide. I shouldn't have to read from the very left of my screen to the right. It should be more like in the middle. So it's very unaesthetic. I never read the copy, so we'll say that it works. 3 subject lines. What the Lakers taught me about business. This is okay, but it's kind of getting a little bit, what just happened there? Getting a bit cliche. I watched a meme the other day that was about like people on LinkedIn and how cringy they are. And one of the quotes was like, here's what my divorce taught me about business. And people just posting shit like that. It's a good way to concept bridge things, but it's getting a little bit, I don't know. I might add something different to it, but it will pass. Your business is a sports team, ? Don't be Dr. Phil in your business, losing out on deals. Okay. First name? Damn, bro. This formatting is not my favorite formatting. It's like these these freaking lines have beef with each other. Why are they so far away, bro? Many realtors work their ass off, make calls, run numbers all day long, and still their wholesaling business is stuck. That's a pretty good lead. Nice and consumable. Other than the fact that the lines are like literally at war with each other. Their team isn't closing enough deals, which makes their revenue stalling. It's just stall, and their team spirit drops. If that sounds like your biz, here's the sports team business method that scaled me from 5K to 10K per month. Yeah. Okay, so this is so far so good. What did we do? This is overall a PAS email. He talked about the problem very briefly, very nice, very, very mindful, very demure. And then he also sprinkled in somewhat sent it for me, solution, what you're going to get. That's good. Problem, solution. Now he needs to agitate more and give the solution. What people mess up on is they give the actual solution right here. It sounds like your biz is a sports team business method that scaled me to 5K per month. See, it works like this, and they just talk about the solution. Not ideally what you want. Ideally, you want to go into more of the problem for just a little bit, show them where they're going to be if they don't fix this problem, and then give them the solution, then CTA it. If, let's say I'm a graphic designer, and for some reason I'm reading this, and I'm like, if that sounds like your biz, I'm gonna click off. That's a good thing. I'm a graphic designer. I'm not who you want. Something that's kind of counterintuitive about marketing is that your messaging should really resonate with who you want to be a client or customer, and it should really not resonate with the people you don't want. So, for example, in lots of ads, you'll see the very first line that they say, the thing that they say is gym owners, copywriters, coaches, consultants, and agencies. And guess what? If you're not one of those, they don't want you in their funnel. Some people even go farther enough to say, if you're not making at least 10K per month with your coaching business, don't apply, because you don't want the people who don't resonate with it. So to answer your question succinctly, it's cool. You see, if a team member of yours is not delivering results and you pretend to be Dr. Phil confronting them when they're upset with their performance, you'll never scale your business. Good. This is the agitate. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Why? Because fixing broken people simply isn't as effective as focusing on generating results. It's like a tweetable one-liner. Fixing broken people simply isn't as effective as focusing on generating results. I think you can make a cool tweetable out of this. Make me 10 tweets about this topic without repeating the topic, the words in the topic itself. I just want to see what it comes up with. The highest ROI comes from channeling into forward momentum, not backwards repair. Focus on what creates value, not what drains it. Pretty decent. Champions build systems that generate wins. They don't waste prime hours attempting to transform reluctant teammates. Your mission deserves resources directed towards advancement, not rehabilitation with projects with uncertain outcomes. Damn, some of these are like fucking so weirdly worded. But okay, you could add another line or tweetable after that if you wanted to, but this works just fine. This is why I run my business like a sports team. Top players play while weak players get benched. Oh shit. And if you're not putting up numbers in my biz, you're not getting to play. This is how I scaled from 5K per month to 10K per month. Sorry, 5 million per month to 10 million per month. Because I don't waste time trying to fix what's broken. I focus on results. Picture the coach of the Lakers gathering his team during the halftime break. Would he get the most points in the next quarters if he said, LeBron, it's okay if you miss 6 open shots. Keep trying. No, he wouldn't. It's a good justification, but I think that I might go, just me, for the justification first approach. So in life, when you're having a conversation, you do justification last. Hey, dude, I think that Donald Trump is actually killing crypto. Here's why. Reason A, reason B, reason C. But in copywriting, in order to keep the intrigue, you do the opposite. You do justification first. You'd be like, there's this one thing that's killing crypto that might actually cause it to crash. And here's how to actually play it right. See, over the last couple of days, crypto's gone up extremely sharply. Everyone was excited. And then 2 days later, it went below what it used to be. And all the gains were gone, erased in 2 days. And there was one person that was responsible for this. And then you go on like that, right? So I think what I would do is I would take this, and of course, this is a suggestion, not a critique. So I'd go from, I focus on results, this stuff, and I would put it up by where you said I run my business like right here. I put it right here, boom, like that. But of course, up to you. No, he wouldn't, because then he tolerates underperformers, and though he'll make LeBron happy by giving him another chance, LeBron will continue to missing shots. If he instead understands that these results are not acceptable, and then finds a substitute, he's much more results oriented, and they'll find a solution faster. This goes for wholesaling too. In my business, if you stop putting up points, you're fired, because I'm in the business of making money and win championships, not tolerating people disrespecting me by not delivering points. So first name, if you want to scale your wholesaling business until the point where you can remove yourself from the day-to-day ops, you need to be results oriented and think of your business as a sports team. Nah. Honestly, I was about to say, like up here, wrap it up, because it's doing a lot of over justifying. There's a lot of copy compensation here, until the point where you can remove yourself from day-to-day ops. Because if you don't, like down here is like, really wrap it up. And then there was even a point up here where I was kind of like, all right, let's get to the CTA soon. Even up here, I focus on results. Right here, you can use this analogy, but this is like where I'd start thinking of closing. Imagine if I was like, dude, you need discipline to be successful. If you don't have discipline, you'll never be successful. Elon Musk says you need to be disciplined to be successful. A study came out saying that discipline equals success. It's like, no, I got you, bro. I got you. I find a lot of books do that. That's why I don't read that many books. I kind of just read the cliff notes. An example of that is Deep Work. If you guys have ever read Deep Work, I don't like that book. I love the concept. I love the concept of deep work, learning how to do deep work and improve my deep work. But it literally goes on and on and on and on and on about study at this, study at that. It's like, you just tell me what you need to tell me. And if it makes sense, it makes sense. Same with your copy. You're fired, because I'm in this business to make championships, and I'm not tolerating. So first name, if you want to scale your wholesaling business until the point where you can remove yourself from day-to-day ops, you need results oriented and think of your business as a sports team. Because if you don't, you'll keep on struggling to generate results. Now you have a chance to fix your business today. Click here to steal the exact lead gen system, getting me 40 plus deals before you waste another month stuck in the same cycle. Okay, so perfect, problem solution loop it. Okay, so here's how I would make it. Because if you don't, you'll keep struggling to generate results. You need to fix business oriented. And one of the hardest, I'll actually write it. One of the hardest yet most rewarding, what did it say? Results that impact your bottom line is leads. Now that you know how to maximize your business, or in this case, he's saying biz, by optimizing conversions. We'll just say that conversions, having a steady lead flow is what will let you scale to the moon. How? Click here too. So it's smoother, it's more conversational, and it actually makes people want to, where it's like, now that you have this awesome thing that I gave you, it's not as useful unless you have this second piece of value that I'm offering you now. It makes the CTA much more compelling, because right here, you're kind of like, if you don't do what I told you in this email, you'll struggle to get results. Now you have a chance to fix your business today. Click here to get my lead gen system that gets me 40 plus deals per month. It's like, where did that come from? Oh, sweet. There's a 7-figure cartel. Oh, I think I've seen this guy before.
I'm 34 years old. We do over, you can see this is from last year. This is $4 million just in wholesale fees.
Brev put his frequently asked questions at the top. A quarter of the members become millionaires. Millionaire is a very loose term. You want to know how easy it is to become a millionaire? Quarter of the members. Let's talk about it. So in order to even get in this looks like a high ticket program that probably costs at least 10K. I'm going to guess maybe even more. So when people get in it, they have money, and people who invest in real estate already have money, usually. Nobody's like, oh, bro, I'm broke. You know what I should do? Invest in real estate. I don't think many people are on that come up. A lot of people who join probably already are technically millionaires, even if it's like in equity. Some people even buy $1 million property. They put a down payment of 10% on it, which is $100,000. And they say, I'm a millionaire because I own $1 million property, which you're not even a millionaire because you don't actually own it because you don't have all the equity. Not to mention frequently asked questions right under the buy button is craziness. Also with these testimonials, videos are cool. They're the best way to have testimonials, but nobody's going to watch them. There's some screenshots here, but make the testimonial short and concise. Nick did over 175K. Like, those words should be there because ain't nobody reading this whole thing. Who is Nick Perry? Also, this VSL is so dog dookie. First of all, I can't even see him in that little corner. He's got like doo-doo crumbs all over his camera. He needs to wipe it off. I applied to 400 jobs and sat through 125 interviews, only to realize I've been making the same mistake every time. Listen, first name. If you don't want your applications to get turned down and then get hit with the thank you, best of luck, you definitely want to hear this. I had no idea I was making 2 huge mistakes that kept me from getting hired. Just when I was about to give up, a company suggested I might be a good fit for an entry-level sales position. That's when it hit me. Bruh, clean up your AI. The problem was my resume. It didn't match the qualifications for those jobs. You should say for the jobs I was applying for. And finally, nah. Seems forced here. It seems forced here because I'm not thinking, thank you, Captain Obvious. Now, this GIF is from one of my previous emails, if you guys don't recognize it. And in the email, I said the key to weight loss is something like the key to weight loss is eating less food. That is like, thank you, Captain Obvious, right? That is like easily what you'd be thinking. But when you read, that's when it hit me. The problem was my resume. It didn't match the qualifications for the jobs I was applying for. That's not really like the feeling you get from that is not like, yeah, of course, that's extremely obvious. So I would cut that. So I found the solution, transferable skills. Yes, I didn't have the sales experience, but I could communicate, solve problems, and adapt. Every job I had before helped me develop skills, which recruiters were actually looking for. Yeah, the flow here is really tough. Flow is a no right there. After that, I refined my resume. Also, you should use the accent here because I keep thinking you're trying to say resume. Committed to applying 50 jobs every single day. And after I finally started landing interviews consistently, wait, what? After that, I refined my resume, committed to applying to 50 jobs every single day, and I finally started landing interviews consistently. But the real challenge was the interviews themselves. I was doing something wrong because none of them landed me a job. So I started to record all my interviews. Hey, yo, what? Nah, bro. What are you talking about? Nah. No. This right here This is your one idea. You should now be moving into the close. You're adding too many ideas in this. Like, look at how long this is. This is easily 2 emails. This way I could see what I did well and also what I needed to improve. You mean you just set up a tripod and a camera in the interview? Like, what are you talking about? But these recordings had a second purpose. After the review, I sent an email to the recruiters thanking them for their time. And that changed everything. What changed everything? Was it this or the last thing you talked about? After preparing for interviews, researching companies, and applying for all the right jobs, I landed a $50K tech sales job, and I could finally work from home. After all that struggle, I now make 6 figures a year from my computer while making a couple of calls a day. First name, I don't know how hard it is to land a remote job. That's why I want to help you do it in an easier way. Okay. I made a short video where I show you how I changed my resume and interview strategy in detail. Dookie balls. Nah, fam. Nah. See, this email was pretty decent, but like, this is the type of email where I read it, I'm like, okay, the copywriter themselves is like, okay, but the AI is what made the email. So this, you need to come up with, a unique mechanism for this for sure. And let me help you do that. Start a new chat. So here I am in Claude. Come up with 10 unique mechanisms for this. It will probably give us crap, but it will point us in the right direction. Skills heat map, interesting. Decision tree, industry expert overlays, no. Metrics dashboards, no. Keyword frequency, time-lapse application, real rejection feedback, interview stimulation clips, confidence tracker. Skills heat map is not bad. Made a short interview where I show you how I changed my resume. It's like, how did you change it then? So you use transferable skills and what else? And you started to record your interviews. So when it comes down to this, sell the thing, sell the system. The repeatable process, not just like, I'm going to show you how I change my resume and interview strategy. That's kind of like, it's like, I'm going to show you an outreach method. It's like, what else? That's it? For promoting a VSL training, from what I understood. A VSL training is like where you go through the whole thing. Then at the end of the email, it's like, if you want to uncover the resume system that I've been using, then click here. You go there. It's a headline, landing page, video. It's like, hey, here's the system that I'm using. It works by doing these 3 things. You sell them on the 3 things. Those are the exact 3 things that I specialize in my resume program. You can come join it, so on and so forth. Very common play against or amongst personal brands. You just said, I changed my resume. I put transferable skills in there. And also, you never talked about like why. And also, it was very all over the place. It was not simple. It was not simple at all. What I would do, if I were you and you were me, and I know the email's not there anymore, so here's exactly what I would do. I would add in another tweak that you did, and I would make it a listicle email, a very short listicle email. I was struggling with finding jobs until I did these 3 very simple things that I call the job harpoon system. The harpoons, I don't know, whatever. Come up with a unique mechanism. And it basically is comprised of these 3 things. 1, put down transferable skills. Now, most people don't do this because they feel as though they're putting down skills that they're not actually qualified for, but this helps you get jobs that you can learn and grow in and still make 6 figures remotely. And then the second one is record your interviews. I can't stress this enough. Your memory can't be trusted, right? You might say things in interviews and thought that it went well, but once you listen back to it, it's almost like you're listening to a whole different interview. Trust me when I tell you this. Hit the record button on your phone and just set it on the table, and it will change your life forever. The third thing, whatever. The third thing and why. Now, these are all part of my harpoon system. If you want to know in detail exactly what they did and have me show you my resume in detail, or show you the exact resume that I did and the tweaks, then click here. See, like the email written wise was all right, but I could tell like the structure was so off. Like the basics were still off. So I'm giving it, 30. Okay, so email number 1, your shortcut to real estate wealth. Hell nah, bro. Hell nah. Nah, bruv. That's a violation. Diabolical. You're only on week 2, so I won't go too hard on you, but the key to building homes with ease, build for big wins, building real profits, why flip when you can build. This one's like the best, but it's still like meh. And you usually want to add a preview. Also, these feel like AI. Also, what are you talking about? This one's not familiar enough. Or it's not familiar or intriguing. It's actually quite interesting. Interesting in the way of like, I didn't know something could be like not familiar and also not intriguing at the same time. So you're actually teaching me. Thank you. It's like, it's the same thing. In your subject line, I should know what I'm going to get out of it, what the email is going to be slightly about, and I should be ensured that I don't know the contents of the email. No experience required. Nah, Dookie. Hell no. This is basic. It's just basic. I can already tell by this line. I haven't read it yet. It's too long. Too long. Most people think they have to grind through wholesaling or flipping before they can build homes on their own. So 1, be choosy, especially in the lead. So you want to be choosy, wholesaling or flipping. Just say this. Most people think you need a decade of experience to build your own homes. That's shorter. Even that's kind of long. You can come up with better ways. But just say what you're trying to say. Don't get cute with it. They do that for a couple of years? Oh, hell no. Nah. They do what for a couple of years? Most people think they have to grind through a wholesaling or flipping before they can build their own homes. They do that for a couple of years. Like, I know what you're trying to say, but this is assuming readership when you point back to what you were just saying. Only to find it's much harder and less rewarding than they thought. But you don't have to follow the crowd. I've been in this game for over decades. You mean 2? And what I'm about to tell you could change your plans and make you keep going. Yeah, okay, so you need an overhaul. I'll be honest, you need an absolute overhaul. Use AI, Grammarly, Chat, GPT, something to help clean up your structure, sentences, and grammar. I'll be honest, the next error I come across, I'm going to have to skip and go to the next. No disrespect, but this is what it is. You're only on week 2, so I'm not mad about it. The thing that never fails to shock me is the failure rate of real estate beginners. Whole 80% of them fail to stay in the industry long term. What is this word? Don't give up like the rest. Even if the things are not, nah, bro. All right, bro. That's all I can do. Wake up call. You got to practice way more. This email's way too long. Lead's way too long. Sentences don't make sense. I know. You probably think, I should be making more money by now, right? What's wrong? And the lack of results is frustrating, leaving you questioning if you're on the right path. You start losing the passion you had over time. The little voice in your head saying, maybe you're just not good enough to be in real estate, or maybe real estate is dead already. I've been there. Leaning against the wall, staring blankly. Yeah, this is too long. This is novel level problem here. So in copywriting, there's a balance. Imagine if I was writing for you guys and I was like, hey, are you a copywriter who's struggling? It's hard to learn copywriting. You're watching a bunch of videos. You're trying to learn copywriting. You go to open a document. You put some words down. Then you look at it. Then you figure, you know what? It's not that good. And then you go watch some more videos. And then you learn this other thing. And then it's like at a certain point, it has to end. Right? Can we all agree that if you just went rambling on and yapping for a long time, it would be a little bit too much? So yes, you want to relate to their problems, but you want to know exactly how to do it. For reference, okay, wow. Like that is actually longer than I could. Okay, so for reference, my friend, tools, word count. This is 478 words. An email should be 200, 300 max. I'll leave it at that. Come next week, I want to see how you improve. A prospect is planning on building a newsletter soon. What should I do? Well, I don't have much context, but you don't have them yet and they're a prospect. You can do it for some like free or low paying work. It's very quite simple. It will feel complicated to you, but dude, it's so simple. You help them get a software, ActiveCampaign, or the other ones, MailChimp. I'm drawing a blank because ActiveCampaign is the only one that I really use that much. Aweber, right? There's lots of different things you can use. So use one of those, set up the back end. And as a beginner copywriter, when you're setting up someone's stuff, the software is going to be a little bit difficult. But one of the biggest skills of a copywriter is learning how to learn the skills of software. It's very simple. You can navigate any software. People spam question me all the time. Tyson, how do I do an ActiveCampaign? How do I integrate the list? How do I? Dude, ChatGPT, Google, and support. Softwares literally give you as much support as possible because they are financially incentivized. When they create a software, they want you to understand exactly what to do. Otherwise, you're not going to keep paying for it. So they have tons of tutorials and they have support. They have people who are chat support. They have sometimes AI support, AI chat support. Sometimes they have actual person chat support. And worst case scenario, call them up on the phone. Most of them have call support. So you'll be all right. You will be okay. Trust me. You don't need to ask anybody anything. I remember with my first client, I would do that very thing. He'd be like, did you talk to support? I'd say no. He'd be like, then why are you texting me? So I'd go talk to support. I'd go figure it out and I'd make it work every single time. That's what I would say with the very limited knowledge that I have. This one delineation I'm about to tell you guys, I'm promising you, is probably the biggest thing. The biggest thing why people are so confused about research, because I'll be honest, you guys don't even know what research means. When you say like, Tyson, how do I do research? You heard somebody somewhere say that research is super important, but you have no clue what that even means. You're like, oh, well, research is when you like look up things about the business to write it. And like, no, you don't know. I'm sorry, you don't know. There are 3 different types of research. There's client research, there's competitor research, and there's avatar research. So there's client research, there's competitor research, and there is avatar research. And no, I'm not talking about avatar like all the little blue people running around. It's this. So client research. What your client says. Important so that you can nail their brand voice. I'm going to give you guys 2 frameworks here in a second. Framework number 1 and framework number 2. Then there's competitor research. Now, this is essentially when you go to your client's competitors. So there's a few ways to do this. So why, and there's how. So why is it important? Because you can come up with good angles for emails and also add some spice to your swipe file. But with that being said, be careful because you don't want to sound like a clone. If your client's competitor is saying whatever it is, ABC, and then you go to your client and you're like, hey, I wrote you this awesome email, and the exact same thing, it's like, oh, ABC. It's like, dude, don't just rip them off word for word. Not very good. Also, a mindset that I want you guys to have, bonus tip on mindset, when it comes to research, is this. It's a quote. Stealing from one person, actually, I'll put it like this. Copying one person is theft, but copying many people is called research. So that's part of the reason why you look at all of the competitors, right? If you take a competitor's email, let's say you have 3 competitor emails and you literally just Frankenstein them all together. That's yours because it's unrecognizable now. And you didn't really do that much, right? Maybe you added some of your own personal experiences, your own personal messaging, but the ideas are out there. And let me tell you guys something. If you're like, oh, well, I don't know about that. I want to make work that's original. There is no idea that's ever been had that's original. It's 8 billion people on the world right now. And humans have been around for 5 million years. So you think you have a thought that's original. I hate to break it to you, but it's not. It's not, dude. So just embrace it. Okay. Competitor research. How? Filter through top content on things like IG and YouTube. Very simple. An avatar. This is what a lot of people are meaning, but I don't know if that's exactly what they're meaning, but here's avatar research. So what is it? When you research who you'll be writing for so you can relate to their fears, problems, wants, and dreams. Now, there's a lot on this, right? There's a lot in the bootcamp on this. Also, I want to give you guys one incredible piece of advice that I feel like I give often, but I know I don't give often enough because people ask me all the time these things. Guys, watch this. I'm about to show you. I'm about to blow some of you guys' mind right now. Not all of you, some of you. See you're here in the bootcamp, you see this? Now, there's a lot of content in here, right? You guys keeping up with me, right? You hop in like the academy over here, and you got 12 weeks of lessons, and there's also bonus lessons in there. There's basically, let me see. Yeah, bonus calls in here too. Yeah, dude, there's a lot of content, let's be honest. But if you ever want to learn something specific, oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, you see this little rectangle up here? It's called a search bar, right? So you can go up here and look at this search bar, and you can look at everything I've ever posted about follow-up. There's 8 pages. There's literally 73 things in here that talk about follow-up. So the next time you guys are like, oh man, I wonder if the bootcamp has this. I wonder if the bootcamp has that. Why have I never thought of that? Guys, trust me, I was the same way too at one point. So now you guys know. Now you guys are able to navigate the content a lot easier. And make sure, again, guys, spread the word, right? Spread the word. Because a lot of people struggle with this. Oh, where's this lesson about this, that, the other thing? I want to learn about this. I want to learn about that. Just search it up, right? There's 73 things on here and follow up. Let's see. Subject lines. I want to look at subject lines. 20th subject line stuff. Okay, there's lots here. Oh, I want to learn about AI. Watch that too. Right? Pretty fire, right, guys? Let me go back to what I was writing here. Okay, yeah, right here. So how? This is actually what made me think of this. Because the stuff that I do in here, Avatar and Target Research Masterclass, this right here is going to give you, actually this is a Jasper's, but I did one too. There's lots of them. So there's a lot of ways to do it. I'll go through some ways that are more, what's the word? That are more counterintuitive, right? So one, listen to the sales calls recording. And this is applicable sometimes. So a lot of the times in businesses, if you're working for a real business, that's a real high ticket business that's actually doing decent numbers, they should be recording their sales calls and putting them all in one spot. And you wouldn't believe the things that you learn about just through doing that. One of my best performing emails ever, it was funny because they were like, whoa, this email is good. It actually generated us a lot of money, a lot of leads. All I did was I listened to one of the sales calls recordings and I basically almost word for word just like plopped it in my email. Made it have a nice little intro, a nice little CTA. It cooked. It absolutely cooked. It's like you want to know what is inside people's minds, like listen to those recordings. You'll have to ask. It'll only be applicable sometimes, but really fire. Next, answerthepublic.com. This is like search engine results. I talked about this in the whole lesson that I did inside the bootcamp, so I won't reiterate stuff here, but that's really good. Another thing, product reviews is huge. If you go to any product reviews, let's say it's for like any Amazon product. Oh, I got this watch, right? Let's say. People will be like, oh, well, the watch isn't as shiny as it is in the pictures. Oh, well, the watch is actually a lot smaller than it looks like in the pictures when it's in real life. Or I got my watch, but it's not even in really good condition. So let's say I was making an ad for watches. I'd be like, and yes, this actually is even shinier in person than it is on the camera right now. The camera doesn't even do it justice. And I would just basically say the things that they are saying themselves. And this could be for any product at all. What other ones do I have off the top of my head? YouTube comments. Here you can like find people's problems. But it's not that difficult to do. You just have to be efficient with it, right? And also, if you do this, listen to the recording calls. If you go to your client and you're like, hey, I really, really, really want to know your avatar better so that I can better serve you and get more results for the company. Do you think I would be able to get access to some of the sales calls recordings so I can really see the inner workings of our ideal avatar's minds? As a business owner, bro, you're like, this kid's got something special right here. This kid's got insight. And I like that. Yeah. So if you want to be that guy, if you want to go above and beyond for your client, that's the type of thing right there, right? Thinking of some outside the box ways and ideas. Even crazier, just talk to some of their top users, right? Let's say it's for a software and somebody's been using their software for a long time and gotten really great results with it. Be like, hey, can I go talk to that person or talk to somebody on their team? Be like, okay, so why did you get the product? What are some things you wish could be better about the product? What was your experience with other products that were like this, but weren't this? Products before this one, right? So even just interviewing the top users of whatever the product is, another insane way that people just don't get. People are not using these. And when you come to your client and they see that you're doing all this, bro, it's nuts. They're like, okay, this guy actually did not come to play. Okay, this dude's cooking. Let's be honest. Oh yeah, the frameworks. All right, let me pull up the frameworks real quick. So there's the short framework, and then there's the long framework. And I'm going to give you both here. Copy. So this is the shorter one for if you're trying to do client research and copy their brand voice, the dig method. And then I'm going to get the other one too. File, open, easy. And then the long version is this, the compile framework. So the dig method is just three simple steps, right? And I do this so that people don't get confused. So I made a short version and a long version. The long version, it takes longer to do, but if you actually like have a client and you're going to be ready for them long term, I'd say fill out the long one, right? If you're just going to be practicing and you want to like speed run some research so you can practice or so that you can mirror their brand voice and you have some semblance of research, just do the dig method. Very simple. Discover their differences. So what makes them unique in their space? Identify their ideal customer. So who exactly are they speaking to? I do some avatar research, just a little bit. Now, the thing with avatar research is that you don't need to do it unless you are absolutely like hired with this person, you're locked in with them, and you want like stellar results. Because the thing is that they've already done the avatar research. I'll give you an example. Me, for my own business, I might never have done avatar research. And the reason is this, because I was my avatar. Right? I was the person that was struggling with copywriting, buying all these low quality courses, doing what everybody else said and not getting any results. Right? That was me. So I know all the struggles that come with that. Furthermore, I talk with you guys every single day. So it's pretty, like you could call this avatar research because I'm here reading the chat. It's like, I already know. Right? But on the other hand, I have done avatar research for my real estate client because I didn't know a thing about I was like, what is this? Now, the other thing that you have to take into account is even in competitor research, again, they've already done the avatar research. If you do competitor research and client research, chances are avatar research is not going to be the most useful use of your time. This is not that efficient because they've already done it. If you talk to a real estate dude who's been in real estate for the last decade and now he's selling real estate coaching, for example, it's like, dude, you go and look at his content that he already writes, and he's going to tell you what it's like. Right? Oh, a lot of people get caught up in trying to buy and hold long term, but this actually isn't the best for money. Instead, what you want to do is fix and flip. It's like, I don't have to go and do research to figure out what people are usually doing in the market that's not working. He just told me. So hopefully you guys understand that. Because a lot of beginners, they think they have to start with avatar research. That's the opposite. It's the opposite. There's no reason to start with avatar research if you haven't even done client or competitor research yet. 0%. Doesn't make any sense. Start with client research. Further down the line, do some competitor research. Further down the line, if even applicable, then you would do some avatar research. People might have different opinions on this. I've heard marketers say like you have to do avatar research before you even touch a piece of copy and blah blah blah. I just don't see the need. I've done okay for myself, so and I don't see the need. But there's a million different ways to bake the cake, man. Bro does cooking for a living. That's right, man. Chef Ramsay up in here. Okay, so the dig method: discover their differences, identify their ideal client or ideal customer, like I said, and then gather their greatest hits. This one's big. So what of their content performs best? So go to their YouTube, look at the top stuff. Go to their Instagram Reels, look at the top stuff. Right, see what performs best for them, so you can gather some hooks and some ideas. Then I have an example here. Now, the framework 2 is one that you guys have probably seen already. I've talked about it in my video, so I won't spend too long on it, but I'll just cover it. Common sayings, what's their offer? What are the methods that are in their space but are inferior to the ones that they teach? What are some problems that their ideal avatar or their audience faces? What are some intros or hooks that you can take from their content? What are some lessons from stories that they've had before? And what are some evasions/objections that their ideal customers might have of their product or their system? Very simple. This is what you're going to need if you want to do some really quick research. This is like the speed run method. This is like the in-depth method. Then over here is like competitor method. So what you want to do is go look at their competitors. How do you find them? If I'm writing for a real estate guy, since I guess that's the example of the day, you would go to YouTube, you would click real estate, or you could just do very common search terms. Real estate, how to flip properties, how to buy rental properties, whatever. How to rehab properties, how to do wholesale deals. Very simple. And you look at the top guys there. You look at what are they saying, what's their messaging, and also the same thing, like look at what people are saying about them. Look at what people are complaining. Oh, this guy, I don't think he even owns any real estate. Or like, oh, this guy's told me to do X, Y, Z, but that actually didn't work for me. You can like use that as ammo, right? Throwing stones at the competitors. Dude, I'm telling you, like, copy just writes itself. Copy just writes itself, bro. If you guys thought that this was going to be like some brain power, you got to sit down and write like you're fucking, I don't even know. Who's a good writer? I don't know. It is not that hard. It just writes itself. Okay, rewritten. The ministry is hiding this from you. Okay, let's see. Why world leader? All right, guys, what happened? We were doing so good. What happened to leaving your links at the top of the page? Leave link to who you're writing for. Otherwise, I can't give you the best review if I don't know who you're writing for. Why world leader reply on verbal dancing? You mean world leaders? Come on, boys. Out of 8 billion people on Earth, 99% of them are average. I'm no mathematician, but those numbers do not add up. Average, in the literal sense, describes like the majority of people. So 99%. I don't. Because like 50% are below average and 50% are above average. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. What do you guys think? Okay, doom scrolling. I know what you mean, but it's like using average and 99%, and you say out of the 8 billion people, like it's an actual statistic figure. So I would reword this because this is like, reword that. Doom scrolling on social media, getting nervous in social situations, living unnoticed and invisible by society. But some slip through the cracks. They wake up and realize there's one aspect in life they need to master to join the top 1%. They wake up and realize, okay, Andrew Tate, Iman Gadzhi, Donald Trump, Luke Belmar, you name it. Adding Trump's name into that list is crazy work. They've all mastered this one domain. They say it's the most powerful skill in the world. They say it wins wars and closes billions-dollar deals. And guess what? We all have this superpower, but it's hidden from us by the ministry. The ministry. Without this superpower, you may end up living like another background NPC. This is the most Gen Z email I've ever read. Paralyzed by your own weakness, unable to be the man you deserve to be, but you still have time to get the respect you deserve. Who is this? Who are you writing for, bro? Verbal dancing. What is this superpower? Verbal dancing. I'll be honest, bro. You just verbal danced this whole email. So here's the thing. Picture this, what we're reading, like a YouTube video where I'm like, hey guys, what's up? It's Tyson 4D here. And I know on my last video, I was actually talking about making this type of video. And on this video, I'm actually making a different type, but the type I was talking about earlier, that's actually gonna be in the next video. So before we get into this video, you guys really have to understand like what money even is before we talk about, copywriting and how to make money with copywriting. And it's just like on and on and on. And you think that you're building all this intrigue, but really what you're doing is just a whole bunch of waffling. Yeah, I don't know how else to say it. So it's kind of like problem, agitate, solution, except the thing with problem, agitate, solution is you show the problem, right? You talk a little bit about how you have the solution or there is a solution. Then when the agitate comes, you show where they're going to be in a long time if they don't fix this problem and how this problem comes about in their life. So, for example, have you ever felt like you were someone who's extremely ambitious, but yet isn't taking action? Someone who has tons of potential, but is stuck at where they are? Well, you're not alone. Most people do. But if this is what most people face, then why is it that some people are getting outsized returns? They make 1,000 times more money than you, but it's not because they work 1,000 times harder, right? I mean, if you're working for 8 hours a day, they can't work for 8,000 hours a day. So what exactly is it? I don't know. Maybe that's one way you can go into it and then actually talk about it. And then you'd probably give the solution right there or something. But doing just all this and having like all this and then verbal dancing. Look, first name. Andrew Tate became famous because he knew how to influence people. Iman Gadzhi got rich because he got the ability to negotiate effectively and close business opportunities. Donald Trump got his wealth and strength by using words to drive action. And the list goes on. Being rich, strong, and sexy is great. You think Donald Trump is rich, strong, and sexy? But without verbal dancing, is as useless as a Ferrari with no engine. The ability to speak confidently is a completely different power. And after I mastered the art of communication, aka verbal dancing, I was able to form a friendship with the beautiful woman I saw, stand out like a sore thumb, talk to anyone, and command their respect. And I've helped 121 men do the same. So if you want to hone in your skills, main character. I see. Yeah. So you go really, really long on the problem. There's not really too much agitate. I know it feels like it's agitate, but it's really not. And then like a little bit of the solution. Also, I would go one layer deeper on the solution. So here's what I mean by one layer deeper. Guys, the secret you're looking for is in verbal dancing. Verbal dancing is great, which is a new layer, because it shows you how to do all these great things. And I use it to do these awesome things. And then one layer deeper is, how do you do this? Let me tell you. And then you actually give somebody a structure, the structure that you follow, or why you're the person to talk about it. So it's the same thing. You're not really giving yourself a unique mechanism sort of thing here. You're not selling the thing that sells the thing. Instead, you're being like, man, communication skills is it. So picture this, right? Picture you're somebody who already thinks that they understand communication really well. Or you might have seen some other guy already talk about communication, but his product is cheaper. In those two instances, those people are not going to be interested because they don't know how you're actually teaching it. So I have this verbal dancing framework. And the reason as to why I call it verbal dancing is because most people are either far too interested that it comes off as flattery. Sometimes people are like, oh yeah, say their name a bunch of times and really listen to them. But this usually just makes you come off as needy. But then there's also some people who are the opposite. They just talk and talk and talk. They never listen, and they're basically a jackass. So what should you do? You should use my verbal dancing framework. It works by doing a little bit of push, a little bit of pull. This way, you don't seem needy, and you're also seeming authoritative, but people still like you because you have the capacity to listen and be friendly. If you want to know exactly how to use it, then click the link. That is more what it would look like. So when you go this one level deeper, and also you're giving value in that email as well, because people are learning something. Oh, okay, this is what communication is actually about. So hopefully that made sense to you guys. Jackass, what is that? So, holy shit, lots of spelling mistakes. Trump is sexy. Y'all crazy. Yeah, so get to the point quicker, go one level deeper, give a little bit of value, put some copy sauce on there, and hopefully I'll see you next week to give you another review, bro. In ancient Greece, the Spartans used to burn down their boats before a battle. Why? Because they refused to retreat in defeat. There was no plan B. It was do or die. Back when I started my business, I was scared to burn my own boats. I kept one foot in a university, started 6 safe dropshipping stores, tried to play it cool when my business was failing. But once I went all in, everything changed. I built 4 different multi-7-figure businesses, generated $8 million by the age of 23, and I scaled my latest to $100K per month in 90 days. I put together a full step-by-step guide for free, so you can just copy me. Oh well. It goes over how I turned $50 products into $72K in just 2 months without paid ads. My NRO framework, that helps me gain 42.5K followers overnight. I would put seemingly overnight because I don't think maybe it was in one day. I don't know. If it wasn't literally overnight, I would put seemingly. Why everything you've learned about business is keeping you broke, and how this one mental shift made me a millionaire. Right. This is the guide I needed at 18. Comment surrender, and I'll send the blueprint for free. Must be following. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So I do like it. I think something that you could add to it would be something, try to add a tweetable / one-liner in here that really, or even a quote that really is a mind blower. So real quick, actually, I'm going to open up a Claude real quick and see if I can come up with something. So I'm going to say, this is my post. I'd like you to make 5 tweets on the same subject. And then maybe I'll add something that it says into there. I'll go like this. Let's see if we can get a good idea. We're not going to be embarking on any journeys here today, boys. I'll help create 5 tweets. No. Make them into tweets. I don't know what that format is. Success leaves clues. The ancient Spartans didn't build escape routes. They burned their boats before battle. In business, I learned this lesson the hard way. Going all in wasn't a choice. It was the only way forward. Hedging my bets is when everything changed. I like that language, hedging my bets. That's interesting. I used to juggle university and safe side hustles, thinking I was being smart. Yeah, I might put something like that. Like, people think that they're being safe. People think that they're being intelligent by doing 2 things instead of 1. But realistically, they're just splitting their focus into 2. Maybe. These are all ideas. But as for what you already have, there's nothing wrong with it. Let's read another one. Relatability plus social proof. I made $70K in 2 months from my first winning product. Read that again. My first winning product. But before that, I failed with 6 different stores in a row. Put in thousands of hours learning and testing. Had countless nights questioning everything. Overnight success took me 1,400 hours. And after generating $8 million at 23 with ecom, I found that success isn't about finding the winning product. I'd say like discovered or something, just because found twice right there. It's a little bit too close. It's not about giving up until you find, it's about not giving up until you find it. You know what I would say? I would say something like, one good tweetable here would be, will is more important than skill. Something about, and then talking about stick with it, blah, blah, blah. Right. But that's what I mean by like one word, tweetable. Wow, that's like a quotable, really good line sort of thing. Adding some of those in there would make them go crazy. I'd say like having one of those per post, trying really hard to put one of those, because somebody who does it really, really well is Dan Martell. Iman Gadji does it very well. And Alex Hormozy does it really well. I spent basically all morning studying their videos like crazy, which is a reason as to why I am also thinking about this as well. Post 3, short relatability. Sitting in my parents' garage at 16, one day I'll have it all figured out. Sitting in my Dubai penthouse at 23, I still don't have it figured out. The only difference, I stopped waiting to have it figured out before I took action. That's pretty sick. Clarity comes from doing, not thinking. Stop before you're ready, because there'll never be a right moment. You'll never know if it works out until you try. You'll never feel 100% confident, and that's the secret. The people winning now, they're just as clueless as you. They just started anyway. That's sweet. That one's really good. A line that I think goes with this is like, you're being beat by people who, what was it, are half as smart, but taking twice the action or something. Of course, just suggestions, but other like spicy lines you can add in there. But this one's honestly my favorite so far. Yeah, this one's the best so far. How do you handle the pressure of running multiple 7-figure businesses? Simple. I don't. Sometimes I work 16 hours straight, to leave my house for days, and question everything, but I never quit. Pressure isn't the problem, your response to it is. And the better you get at gritting your teeth and going through the pain of discomfort, the faster you'll succeed. Sweet, I like that one too. What do you guys think? I feel like I'm listening to Tyson's copy. Claude cooking, yeah, Claude's pretty fire. Let me go back. Your backup plan might be holding you back. That's kind of cool. Backup plan is holding you back. Yeah, see, it has some clever wordplay and stuff sometimes. Looking back at my journey from scared student to scaling multiple 7-figure businesses, the common denominator wasn't skill or luck. It was complete commitment. There's power in removing your safety net. Yeah, I think that's a really good line too. There's power in removing your safety net. Puts that pressure on yourself. Next, building a successful business isn't about having more options. It's about being fully invested in the right one. The Spartans knew this. Every plan B is mental energy taken away from making plan A work. That's a good one too. Focus is a force multiplier. Yeah, that's a nice one-liner too. See, Claude's cooking, bro. Entrepreneurship has taught me half measures yield half results. When you're truly committed, you find solutions instead of exits. Are you building boats to escape in, or are you ready to burn them? Let's connect and build something great. What the hell was that? That was like the only ChatGPT line in all of the 5 tweets. But rest of them were fire. What do you guys think?